The crystalline chamber of the Galactic Council hummed with tension as Elder Vexithor raised his 6 arms in a gesture of warning. His ancient eyes, which had witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations across millennia, held an expression that made even the most battle-hardened delegates shift uneasily in their seats. "You do not understand," Vexithor's voice echoed through the chamber, each word weighted with centuries of knowledge. "By the time you decided to stop them, humanity was already too late to contain." Logan adjusted his worn leather jacket as he stood beside Willow. In the observation deck of the human delegation ship, through the transparent aluminum viewport, Earth hung like a blue marble against the velvet darkness of space. Neither of them should have been here, a cargo pilot and a xenobiologist, hardly qualified as diplomatic material, but circumstances had thrust them into the center of galactic politics. "They're still debating whether we're a threat," Willow murmured, her green eyes reflecting the starlight. Her fingers drummed nervously against the data pad she carried, filled with research that the Council had refused to review. "Of course we're a threat," Logan replied with a sardonic smile. "We went from wooden ships to warp drives in 500 years. We've colonized 40 systems in 2 decades. And we did it all without their permission or their technology." Below them, in the council chamber, Ambassador Krell of the Zynthian Empire slammed his appendage against the podium. "The humans must be stopped. They expand too quickly, adapt too rapidly. They refuse to follow established protocols. They are chaos incarnate." Elder Vexithor's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. "You speak as if you still have a choice, Krell. That is your first mistake." 3 weeks earlier, Logan had been running a simple cargo route to Kepler 442b when his sensors picked up a distress signal from a Zynthian mining operation. Standard protocol said to ignore it. Zynthians had made their hostility toward humanity abundantly clear, but Logan had never been good at following protocols. He'd found Willow there, trapped in the collapsed facility alongside a dozen Zynthian miners. The structure was failing, radiation levels rising by the minute. The Zynthians had already written off their people as casualties. "You came back," one of the Zynthian miners had whispered in broken standard, as Logan hauled him toward the rescue shuttle. "You're kind. You came back for us. It's what we do," Logan had replied simply, not understanding then how those words would echo through the galaxy. Willow had been there studying extremophile bacteria, her research potentially holding the key to terraforming hostile worlds. She'd refused to leave without her samples and the miners. Together, she and Logan had improvised a solution using the mining equipment to create a temporary radiation shield. While they evacuated everyone, the footage of a lone human cargo ship rescuing Zynthian miners had gone viral across 100 worlds. It wasn't the first time humans had done something like this. It was simply the most public. "The problem," Vexithor continued in the council chamber, his voice cutting through the arguing delegates, "is not that humans are aggressive. The Krillian are more aggressive. It is not that they are numerous, the hive collectives number in the trillions. The problem is that humanity refuses to accept the universe as it is." He gestured to a holographic display that materialized in the center of the chamber. It showed a timeline of human achievement, each marker a moment that had shocked the galactic community. When they discovered faster-than-light travel was theoretically impossible with their technology, they invented new technology. When they found worlds that couldn't support life, they changed the worlds. When they encountered diseases that should have destroyed them, they rewrote their own genetic code. And when they found others in need, they helped even their enemies. Ambassador Krell's scales flushed with anger. "This proves they are dangerous, unpredictable." "No," Vexithor corrected gently. "It proves they are inevitable." Willow's data pad chimed with an incoming message. She read it quickly, her eyes widening. "Logan, you need to see this." The message contained sensor data from the Outer Rim. A Krillian war fleet was moving toward human territory, 300 ships, the largest military force assembled in a century. But something was wrong. The fleet's trajectory would take them through the dead zone, a region of space corrupted by dark matter storms that destroyed any ship attempting passage. "They're going to get themselves killed." Logan breathed. "We have to warn them," Willow said immediately. "They've been trying to provoke us into war for months. This could be a trap." Willow met his gaze with steel in her eyes. We still have to try, Logan nodded. He'd expected nothing less. In the council chamber, Vexither was reaching his conclusion. The elders cautioned you about humanity 3 decades ago, when they first reached beyond their solar system. We told you then that they could not be stopped through force or intimidation. We told you their greatest strength was not their technology or their numbers, but their refusal to accept that anything was impossible. He paused, letting his words sink in. You chose not to listen. You chose to treat them as primitives, as threats, as problems to be managed. And now it is too late. Not because they have conquered you, they have no interest in conquest. It is too late because they have already changed the galaxy simply by being in it. Logan's warning reached the Krillian fleet in time. The fleet commander, shocked that humans would warn their enemies, rerouted around the dead zone. 17,000 Krillian lives were saved because 2 humans couldn't. Stand by and watch others die. The footage reached the council chamber. Within the hour, Vexither gestured to the new, holographic display with something like satisfaction. You see, this is why they cannot be stopped. This is why your debates are meaningless. Humanity was already too late to contain the moment they looked at the stars and decided that the impossible was simply something they hadn't figured out. Yet, Ambassador Krell stared at the footage, his aggression deflating. What do? You adapt, Vexither replied, as they have taught us all to do. Logan and Willow watched as, one by one, the council delegates rose in a gesture of respect. The vote was unanimous. Humanity would be granted full membership in the Galactic Council, not as subordinates or probationary members, but as equals. We did it, Willow whispered. Logan shook his head with a slight smile. No, we just did what humans do. The galaxy did the rest. Through the viewport, Earth continued its eternal rotation. A small blue world that had somehow changed the course of galactic history, not through force of arms, but through the simple, stubborn refusal to accept that anything was truly impossible. And in the council chamber, Elder Vexither allowed himself a rare smile. He had seen many species rise to prominence, but humanity's ascent was unique. They hadn't conquered the galaxy, they had inspired it.